Hey guys! This year has been absolutely crazy, and with the quickly approaching school year upon us, it's about to get crazier. A new school year is always a very exciting yet stressful time, and this year is about to be no different. Especially this year, with schools deciding what plan is best to implement for their situation, that it leads to more uncertainty than ever, leading to more stress on all of our parts. I have a few tips that can help us be more prepared for this school year and feel more at ease while planning and preparing for whatever lies ahead of us. Step 1 is to evaluate what you want to get out of this school year. So I like to think of this in two ways. What would you want if it was a regular year for you and you were fully in person and expecting all of the events and situations that you would have usually gotten this year? That is very important to me because it is my senior year, so I am looking ahead to college applications and graduation. So I definitely want to try to recreate whatever those experiences I would have gotten throughout this year to the best of my ability. The other thing is a more realistic look on life and just looking at your classes, what can you expect out of them and what you want to get out of them. So I have a list here, and I made some focuses for what I want this school year. So one is to make planned study groups with my friends. That keeps me accountable and also make sure I have connections with my school friends throughout the year. I picked a class that I want to focus on, especially I want to focus on my lit class because I am aiming for a 5 this year and I really want that to be my focus. So if I have extra time that I can put into school, that's the class that I'm going to be putting it into. And for that, I know I want to make some study guides on the books that we're reading this year, so that last AP question that's like very open-ended and you can pick whatever book you want to write about, I'm more prepared and I feel more at ease when answering those questions. Another thing I want to focus on is a note-taking guide, so I want to be more diligent in separating my notes from practice problems. I want to keep them in the same notebook, but just marking them or like highlighting them, color coding them in some way that is very visually differentiating the two of them this year. And then I want to use my Google Calendar more because I think that would be useful. So like reorganizing the way I use my Google Calendar. I haven't really decided on a way yet, but definitely that's something I want to implement. So some tips on how to help you guys evaluate what you want out of your school year is to basically sit down once you get your class list and look at each of your classes and write down some goals you have for each of the classes. Some other tips, if you are doing fully online or even if you're doing a hybrid version, how are you going to make connections with your teachers or make connections with some of the classmates you have? So just thinking about what you expected out of this school year and then how even with your new situation of online or hybrid or in person, you can still gain those things. Tip 2 is to get your workspace ready. So whether you have a desk at home or not, just having a certain area where you plan on doing your work is very important. Or having a few spaces to do your work that can replicate like changing of classes and rotations throughout the day. Personally, one of the changes I made when I went to virtual at the end of last school year was not using my backpack and instead just having my textbooks and notebooks lying out on my desk. I preferred that over a backpack, but if the backpack is something that helps you that reminds you of school, I'd say totally go for it and use your backpack even at home. So just making sure you have a very clean space to work at and at least an open tabletop that you can sit down properly and like write your stuff is very important. Even if you just have a box that you keep your supplies and then bring them out every single day and then put them away at the end of the day is totally fine. Another thing as part of your environment is to organize your desktop. So If you do know your classes, you can start making folders on Google Drive or whatever you use that correlates to each of your subjects, and overall just cleaning out your old Google Drive and your old assignments, cleaning out whatever Canvas or Classroom you use, and like archiving past classes that you don't need anymore, and also your email, just cleaning out your emails or like labeling emails. I like to label mine like for every year, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and just basically cleaning out your old school year and prepping for the new school year. My final tip is to keep old routines while implementing new ones. So the first day of school, usually I'm always very excited and I wake up early because I'm so excited for the first day of school. This year I feel like I'm not going to have that same mindset because I'm not going to actually be going in person, and I'm not going to have that same feeling. So what I plan on doing is keeping an old routine that I had for so many years previous. I'm going to get up, have breakfast, and whatever I like, get ready, but put on clothes that have my school name on it and take pictures. I take pictures every year. This year is going to be a little bit different, but at least that can keep me on track and say, yes, this is the first day of school, and this is what, like, this is where it starts. This is the first day of school. But I'm also going to be implementing new routines. I have been taking the time that I would usually transition to school during like my travel time to school for the past few months, and using that as time that I work out with my dad. So I'm definitely going to continue implementing that into my life. This combination of old routines that make you excited about school, like the pictures for me, or whatever. If you have a special breakfast that you make on the first day of school, make sure you're doing those things that get you into the mindset that you're like, yes, we're in school right now. But also keep old routines that you've made during this quarantine or that you just want to implement in your school life. So I'm taking the time that I would usually travel to the bus, and instead I'm working out. I hope these tips help you prepare for this very uncertain and very stressful new school year. But either way, I hope you have a great time in whatever virtual or in-person class you have this year, and make the most of it. Hope you enjoy this video, and please remember to keep nifty.